welcome you to part 7 of A Thug's Life. This is The Darkness Deepens. This wasn't superstition. This was full surrender to darkness, sacrifices, prayers to the enemy, thinking it would bring control and safety. But the deeper he went, the more empty and tormented he became. He didn't realize it yet, but God was still watching, still waiting, still pursuing him, even in this pit.
To give a sacrifice. And they said that they did it weekly. So he says, come on the weekend, on a Saturday, I don't work, and I'll go over there. And the house was empty. And I'll go. And the dad opened the door. Oh, come in, son. I'm like, hey, thank you. We would walk to the backyard, and there was just the satanic, like a pentagon, right? Pentagram. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots, corners, and he would sit down, and then my buddy and his brother would sit in the other corners, and the other brother was nowhere to be found. I never asked where he was or whatever, so I'll be lying to you if I told you where he was. It was like, look, it was perfect. There's a place for you right there, which was in the bottom 2 corners of the pentagram, right? And I would sit there, and it was red. It was gunky. It looked like blood, but really bright blood. But I can't tell you that it was blood because I didn't see them lay it out. But I'll tell you what, I'm almost positive it was blood. Sit down. So I'll sit down, and he will stand in the middle, say a bunch of stuff, satanic stuff. And then he will move to his corner, right, which was the top, like the tip of the star. Right at the top, which signifies the head of the sacrifice. Which I've never talked to him after, like a couple weeks after this happened. He goes inside, he gets a cat. And he says, you know, to be able to be blessed in this life, we must sacrifice life. He would get the cat. He got the cat. You know, the cat was friendly, super nice. He grabbed it by the top of the head. And I remember that he kind of did this, which was putting the head, the cat was like this. And he went like that, grabbing the arms like this pretty much, and the hands were like here. And then he just snapped it. He would just thank the devil. He would call him God, Lord. He would thank him for this life that's going to inherit all of our wrongful doings and blah, 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 and all this other trash. And he stabbed it like upwards. I remember this. He got the cat, he stabbed it upwards, just blood gushing out. And just like, you know, in many false religions, they sprinkle holy water on people, right? He was sprinkling that on his wife and on the boys. Like, he'll walk and he'll just do this and he'll just that. And he'll do this and he'll do that. He'll do this and he'll do that. Then he got to me and he says, Lord, this kid is suffering hunger, abuse. He's being tormented by the evil spirits that God is sending. Protect him. And I feel this warm, gunky, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. You know, like kind of like sensation coming from my head right in the center, dripping down my neck. It didn't come up my front, dripping down, and he was like squeezing the life out of this cat, you know, pretty much the blood out of this cat into me.
This is why you got to protect your animals, because you don't know who's in your neighborhood. He began sacrificing and praying to the devil, hoping to gain control and protection. When deception takes root, it becomes bondage. He thought power would protect him, but instead it nearly destroyed him. That's what the enemy does. He promises life and delivers death. But God steps in, even in our darkest moments. The light of Christ still shines. There's no pit too deep for his hand to reach in and pull us out. Surrendered by evil and feeling trapped, he wanted out. But in his world, there was only one escape, and that was death. That's coming up in part 8 of A Thug's Life, Left for Dead. But God had other plans.